Hey Leo, we are going to be doing your reading, so we're going to get right into it and see what is going on for you guys. Leo. Whoa, moon card. All right, Leo. That's weird. That's like kind of how Aries reading started too. The Nine of Cups, moon card and the Nine of Cups. Maybe you guys are doing some moon manifestations. All right, cool. Okay, so let's see what's going on, Leo. Leo. Or someone said somebody's name. I'm like, maybe. Okay. All right, Leo, let's see. Maybe you guys like Destiny's Child. Knight of Pentacles and then the Queen of Pentacles. All right, I suppose we're moving in the right direction here. So, all right, let's see what's going on. And the Five of Cups. I gotta tell you, Aries reading a little bit definitely started like this too, like super jumpy. So, all right, well, I haven't read in a minute, so that might be part of it. All right, let's see. All right, Leo. Oh my God, this like, this is so interesting. Three of Pentacles is at the bottom. You guys have the Magician in your environment. So didn't Aries. So, all right, you guys have the Star card. This is showing up for the area of your mind. So maybe there's something that you're like, I want to do that again. Okay, certainly could be. Or there's something you want to like re-sign up for. Okay, that kind of stuff. I also think maybe there's something here in the area of your mind that I wonder if you're maybe feeling a little bit hopeful about a particular thing here. Okay, hopefully that is, the case. But I think there's something much more deep than that. Okay. All right. So, some of you guys might even be thinking like, you know what, I'm supposed to be doing this. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. All right. There might be something about that. All right. I'm weirdly getting the Two of Pentacles off of this as well. So, all right, let's see what's going on here. Okay, so you guys have the Six of Pentacles. This is showing up in the area of your feelings. So, all right, maybe you're feeling, I wonder if you're feeling like it is my turn. I swear to God, this feels like Aries reading. Okay, so maybe you guys are dealing with an Aries, okay, certainly could be, or you have it in your chart somewhere, that kind of thing. All right, so Six of Pentacles in the area of your feelings. Yeah, I think there's something here that you're either feeling like a level of like, I've been selected for something, or I've been chosen for something here, or it could be that you're feeling like I want to give back in some way. Okay, it could be that you're feeling like I feel good enough that I'm ready to pour myself into this thing. Okay, it's interesting because look at these two cards. All right, like they're both kind of like giving in the same direction here, so that is a little bit interesting. All right, so to me this feels like the area of your mind and the area of your feelings are kind of the same or similar, which is great. So, all right. So you guys have the Magician, and this is showing up in the environment around you guys. Okay, I kind of feel like this is somebody who is trying to make something work for you. That is what I'm feeling here. I feel like this is somebody, if this is a person, I think it's somebody who is definitely willing to go to bat for you, willing to do something on your behalf, that kind of stuff. Maybe is even giving you something so that you can kind of like, I don't know, so that you can reach your potential of something. I don't know, something like that. It feels kind of deep, really. All right. So, all right, let's see. I'm also understanding somebody who's just pointing all over the damn place. Like, you know that show, I Think You Should Leave? I'm obsessed with that. That is the funniest show. I think it's really funny. But like when they're just like pointing, it's like, I don't know, whatever. It's okay. I'm not going to like explain the whole episode, but it's pretty funny. All right. Okay. All right, so let's see. So you guys have the Eight of Pentacles, and this is showing up for your goal, your desire, what you're wanting here. I think there's something that I think you're wanting a level of focus, a level of repetition on something. I think Leo, you might be a little bit of a perfectionist, okay? That could be something here, and I feel like maybe that's what we're talking about. Maybe there's something here that you're like, I want to learn it this way, or I want to do something so many times that I don't have to do anything other than rely on like, I don't know, just like your body's taking over, you know what to do, that kind of stuff. Okay, I'm kind of understanding that. All right, that could be it. I also think that there's maybe something here that maybe there's a sense of I want to get this done quicker, or I want to make something like more efficient, that kind of stuff. All right, but I really do understand something about yeah, wanting something to be completely uniform, that kind of stuff, okay? And I am getting an energy of like perfectionism with that, okay? So maybe you guys are like visual artists or something like that, or you replicate something, whatever the heck it is, okay? That kind of thing. That might be something that we're talking about. For some of you guys, it could also be that there's maybe something here that you're like, you know what, I need a particular teacher, or I need an assistant, or some of you guys, maybe you're like, dude, you know what, I know what my purpose is, I know what I want to do, that kind of stuff, okay? And it might be that you're like, well, now I need like an internship, or that maybe you're even training somebody under you. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. But I feel like it's more so maybe the other way around. There might be somebody who's like a master at something, okay? That kind of thing with this Magician card in your environment. And it might be that you're like, yeah, but can I just see how you kind of work on that? Or I want to get better on that thing. Something like that, all right? That's what I'm feeling. So, all right. Possible issue. You guys have the Moon card here. So maybe a little bit of confusion here, or there could be some fears creeping in that's maybe like making you feel kind of held up from something, that kind of stuff, okay? Certainly could be. All right. You know what I gotta tell you? For some of you guys, you might be having like a repeated dream that maybe you're like, I really need to like dissect that and figure out what the heck that means, or figuring out why it's being repeated so many like times, that kind of stuff. I know I've said this in readings before. I have like multiple dreams that are like repeated all the times. Like there's like multiple different ones that it's like, oh, it's almost like, it's like, okay, we're gonna put in that like DVD or VHS. I don't know what we watch when we're sleeping, guys, okay? But you know, it's like, oh, like that dream, we're gonna do that one again. It's like, why am I here? You know, I don't know. So that maybe that's something you guys are trying to like figure out, that kind of stuff. Okay, certainly could be, maybe not at all. I don't know. So let's see. For your opportunity, you guys have the Ten of Pentacles. I understand this as having something way more like stable, okay, reliable, something about that. Maybe having the environment that you're in, like very supportive, very comfortable, that kind of stuff. Okay, certainly could be. I also understand something being larger, okay, with this opportunity. All right. Okay, cool. So, all right, let's see what's going on. Let's clarify this reading here. Leo. All right. Somebody might be very, very secretive here, but I'll tell you something. Most people would, sorry, song lyrics. So God, all right, hold on. Let me just get back on track here. Okay. Most people would not notice this. Most people would just like go about their merry little day, not noticing something, but you are not that way. You're like, oh, I know what's going on here, that kind of stuff. I even wonder if you said something, okay? Said something in the hopes that it would hit somebody in a certain way with like an element of truth, or an element of like how they know that. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean this in a show-offy way. I mean it more so in like, hey, I know what's going on. I don't know. But I swear to God, that came out in Aries reading too, that energy. A little bit different, but like that idea. So, all right, maybe it's a fire sign thing. I don't know. I haven't done Sagittarius's reading yet, so I don't know yet, but we'll see. Ace of Pentacles, I also, ooh, look at that sneaky little Seven of Swords poking out. Okay. All right, so that's going to be like literal for somebody. All right. Okay, let's see what's up. What the heck? Okay. That was intense. All right. Okay, so you guys, Hierophant's at the bottom. Okay, that's awesome. Maybe you guys love music. Me too. I say it every reading. I'm never gonna stop saying it. So how about that? All right, so you guys have the Star card and you have it with the Death card here. This is showing up in the area of your mind. There might be something here that you are feeling a level of connection with something that is transitioning, or you are feeling more, you might be thinking that you should be helping during a particular transition, okay? That might be part of whatever it is, but I also think that there's something here. Yeah, there is like hidden, I wouldn't say hidden agenda or hidden meanings, something like that, okay? I definitely am understanding that, but this is not like news to you. Like this is like planned out, or it's like, I don't know. Well, that Seven of Swords like just kind of popped out. That's what I'm saying. There's a little bit of like high priestessy energy, or a lot bit of that going on here. Again, that happened in Aries reading. So again, it might just be like a fire sign type of thing. Okay. So yes, I do feel like there's something here that you're thinking of in the terms of like, this is my purpose. This is what I'm supposed to do. Or I feel like this is like this is what it makes me feel hopeful to do this, or it makes me feel like I'm getting better at this thing, or I want to continue doing this thing, that kind of stuff. Okay. It might be that you're in the area of your mind. You might be like, I can do this all the time. Like, I don't need to stop, or I don't want this particular thing to end, or whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff. Okay. That might be part of it. But I also understand something about being like, well, I feel better about a particular transition, or I feel better about like the way something is like maybe transforming from one thing to another, that kind of stuff. Okay. That might be it. For some of you guys, you might even be kind of like, maybe thinking about, I don't know, something to do with like spiritual healing or something about that. There might be something regarding that it's like maybe very personal that is like in the area of your mind. So, all right, with the Six of Pentacles, you guys have the Tower card here, and this is showing up for the area of your feelings. I gotta tell you, why do I feel like you feel like there's a big surprise that's coming? Okay, like a big surprise that's coming, that kind of stuff. For me, this is feeling like a good surprise. Okay, something that maybe it's like, whoa, I really didn't, expect that kind of stuff, but it's like a good surprise. Or that this is like you guys being like, it's almost like if it tips in this direction just a little bit more, it's all going to come crashing down. Okay. So I know those are two incredibly different stories. Okay. But I am understanding something about that being like, okay, if I keep leaning in this direction, or if I keep kind of pouring into this thing, eventually it's going to like, something's going to give. It's going to have to like, either someone's going to realize like how much work you've been putting into something, or how much you've been investing into one particular thing, to the point where it's like something has to happen here. Like it can't just, there's no way this is going unnoticed, or you know what I'm saying? Something about that. That's what I'm feeling. And I feel like that's very much in like in your energy too. So in your environment, you guys have the Magician, and you have it with the 10 of Cups. The first thing that I thought of is somebody doing like a spell or magic, something about that in an extremely healing type of way. Okay. Like being like, I want everyone to be happy. I want everyone to kind of like heal, or whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff. I friggin' love that energy. That's awesome. Okay. So that certainly might be something that's going on here. There's definitely a good amount about like healing, having realizations, maybe working through them, that kind of stuff. Okay. All right, that type of situation. I feel like there's maybe something that you're feeling is like a little bit imbalanced, but it's almost like you're feeling like it's like, well, I'm the one who's been putting in everything. Like, where's like imbalanced in a way that it's like you're ready for the rewards of that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That kind of stuff. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. So I think that there's maybe somebody in your environment who's like, you know what, I recognize that, and I'm trying very hard to like kind of make something like smooth sailing, or doing something where it's like, okay, we're creating like an ambiance or an environment, or creating a situation here where it's like where it's almost it's like you can just be yourself, that kind of stuff. You can be yourself, that kind of situation. And again, I feel like this is somebody who is wanting to like make something like almost like perfect for you. You know what I'm saying? Like on your behalf, that kind of stuff. So, all right. Okay. I'll tell you another thing here. This could also be maybe somebody who is doing magic. Okay. It doesn't have to be magic. I'm just saying that because it's the Magician, and I'm just getting, I don't know, I'm just getting that energy off of this. Okay. But it could be that it's like, to protect, either protection in some sense, or something about like, emotional security, protecting something, that kind of stuff, maybe younger kids or whatever the heck it is. Okay. And I also think that this is, if this is a person in your environment, I think this is somebody who has withstood so much BS and crap that they are finally making it to the other side of something. They're finally they're like, okay, we worked through all of that. And you might be like, I want to follow that path too. I see how like putting in all this work and that kind of stuff is worth it. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. That might be something here. There also might just be like somebody who is very artistic or creative, or is like a jack of all trades, that kind of thing around you. Okay. So, all right, you guys have the Eight of Pentacles, and this, I'm sorry. There is somebody who's like a master at something. I don't know what to tell you guys. There's somebody who's like a real like master at something. They really, really know how to like use what it is that they have, or they know how to like manipulate, almost like a manipulative situation to like make something better. You know what I'm saying? So it's not manipulative in the sense of like, hey, you're being like manipulative, but it's like in a good way. You know what I'm trying to say? Something like that. So, all right, you guys have the Chariot and you have it with the Page of Cups, and this is showing up for what you guys are wanting here. So I think that there's I think what you're wanting is to know if there's a possibility of something. You know what I'm saying? Just being like, is this possible? Or like, what do you think about this? That kind of stuff. Okay. That certainly could be it. Also, there maybe is something that you're just trying to figure out, like, what the heck does that mean? What's the deeper meaning behind that? That kind of stuff. I think that is, I gotta tell you, I think that is part of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I think that's probably an energy that's maybe going to be like, maybe it's going to show up a lot in like this whole round of readings. Okay. That kind of stuff, like getting to the bottom of something, or kind of almost like being like fed up in some sense. And you know what I'm saying? Be like, I need to get to the truth, or I put in all this work, that kind of stuff. Like I want the results for it, you know, that kind of stuff. All right. So you have the Eight of Pentacles, and this is showing up as what to do. So yes, there is definitely something about like working friggin' really hard at something. Okay. Replicating something in some sense, that kind of stuff. Okay. And again, there is like this perfectionist type of situation here. I really am getting the energy. Like there is a bit of perfectionist, but I think it's because something has maybe been modeled to you in such a way that you're like, that's how I want it done, or I aspire to be that, or you know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. That certainly could be part of whatever this is. All right. So maybe this is doing something like, that's weird. Okay, so for some of you guys, maybe this has something to do with like you want to do something that's like just like healing for you, that kind of stuff. Maybe to like slow down time, or you know, something about that. I don't know. Maybe there's something that you're like, okay, I just need to be really diligent about this, that kind of stuff. That might be something. Okay, that's gonna be a really specific message for somebody. I'll tell you that right now. Okay. All right. So. Okay. And again, I do understand the whole thing of like either learning something, or kind of like adopting the way that somebody else does something, and kind of like working in that way, you know, that kind of stuff. All right. You have the King of Pentacles, and this is showing up as what to avoid. So yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like this is kind of like getting some like newness, or getting, you know, doing something maybe in an updated way, or doing something so many times that it's now like, okay, like you've reached like the next level of like perfecting your craft. Like that's really what it feels like. It feels like you're perfecting your craft, and you have somebody around you who's like a really good model, a really good teacher, whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff. Okay. Or has excellent experience, or is just very secure with being like, I can make anything, I can do anything, you know, that kind of stuff. So that's cool. All right. So yeah, I do think this is like maybe, you know, not doing the thing that you always do. Okay. That kind of stuff. I would also say maybe there is something about kind of doing something a little bit quicker, that kind of stuff. All right. Certainly could be. So, all right. You have the Moon card, and then you have it with the Four of Pentacles, and this is showing up for the possible issue here. I think there's somebody who, you or somebody around you, whatever it is, that is maybe holding on to something out of confusion, or is holding on to, is holding on to something that was either like a miscommunication, and maybe there's a hard time to kind of like let go of that in some sense. Okay. Or there maybe is even some confusion as to maybe why, maybe there's somebody around you who is not wanting to share a particular thing with you, that kind of stuff, and is holding on to something, you know, that could be it. I also understand maybe that there's a situation here where possibly somebody's like, oh, just let it go, whatever. And you're like, well, that, you know, that's really easier said than done. Like, how do you let go of something when it's like, you know, very important to you, or you've put like a lot of time and energy into something, that kind of stuff. Okay. Like you have a lot of high energy cards here. You have the Star, Death card, Tower card, Magician. That's like all in like your first row. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's so that to me, if somebody was to be like, hey, you know, it's fine, like just let it go, that would definitely become an issue. Okay. Because it feels like there's too much like at stake, or there's been too much history or something about that for someone just to be like, oh, just let it go, it's fine, you know, that kind of thing. And again, I do understand something about possibly not wanting to share something, or somebody maybe is not wanting to like share a particular thing, or I don't know, something like that. So, all right. Okay. All right, so let's see. You guys have the King of Wands, and this is showing up as what to do here. So I would say definitely following your passion, okay? That kind of stuff. If you are feeling like you know exactly what it is that you want to be doing, or you're like, this is the thing that makes me feel like this is like my purpose, or I'm like reaching for like, you know, I'm reaching for something here. For some of you guys, maybe that's what it is maybe you're thinking of kind of reaching out in a certain way, that kind of stuff, you know, whatever it is here, or pushing yourself really, then I do think that that's like what is to be asked of you, is to like kind of keep going forward with something. Here's what I'm getting. If somebody is telling you like, oh, just let it go, I gotta tell, I almost understand, don't let it go. I gotta tell you, King of Wands, I don't think this guy's letting anything go here, okay? He's like, no, that's okay. I'm actually gonna keep on going. Thank you so much though. So that definitely might be something here, is like making sure maybe the advice you're taking, or not letting anybody else kind of like water down the way that you feel about something, or not letting somebody else dictate when you are over something or not, you know, that kind of stuff. Okay. I would also say maybe there's something here where it's like you get to kind of like march to the beat of your own drum, or you get to be like, you know, the one who's kind of maybe doing multiple different things here. Okay, certainly could be. Maybe that might be something that you like, kind of, you know, having your hands in multiple different things here, or get, you know, doing a whole bunch of stuff, that kind of thing. Okay. But I do feel like there's something about maybe moving yourself into like a leadership position, or, you know, something about that. I don't think this is like a back down, let it go type of energy. I think this is like a don't let it go and keep pushing type of energy. That's what I'm feeling. So you have the 8 of Swords, and this is showing up as what to avoid. I would avoid being stuck. I would avoid putting yourself in a situation where you're like, well, now I don't know what to do, that kind of stuff. Okay. So saying that, I would say also, you know, if it's like a closed-minded situation, or you're only thinking of like one particular way to do something, then I think it is like, you know, broadening your perspective, broadening your horizons, that kind of stuff. Again, you have the King of Pentacles as like what to avoid for part of your goals here. So I definitely understand that as doing something like kind of new, or doing something that's like not the way it would always be done, or, you know, that kind of stuff. Okay. Like not the status quo, that type of thing. All right. So with the 10 of Pentacles, you guys have the Knight of Wands here for your opportunity. This feels like fast money. I swear. This feels like fast money, or, I actually kind of keep just wanting to say that fast money in some sense. That feels like that is your opportunity here. But I will also say, I think that there's something here that you have the opportunity to like, it's almost like, doing something in a particular way, or maybe it's once you like kind of finalize this 8 of Pentacles energy here, okay, once you kind of like really like do something like over and over again, or maybe are learn something in a particular way, I almost like your opportunity is to excel really quickly on that. Okay, maybe faster than you thought. Okay, that kind of stuff. All right. All right, certainly could be. I also understand something about possibly maybe this is making a quick move on something. All right, that could certainly be it, making quick moves, that kind of stuff. Maybe this is housing, job, family, whatever the heck it is, finances, that kind of stuff. Okay, that could be something here. You have the World card, and this is showing up as what to do. So there's definitely something about I want to say completing something, making sure that you have the accomplishment, that you close it out the way that you want it to, that kind of stuff. Okay, that's what I'm feeling. And I think that's also part of this 8 of Swords as what to avoid. It's like you don't have to be closed-minded. You don't have to like do things like the way you always did it, or whatever the heck it is. It's like there does feel like there's somebody who's like, oh, this is like the new way, or look, I learned this and now I want to show you, or whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff. Okay. God, I just saw holy water, so I'm getting somebody like putting holy water somewhere. I have no idea. I'm not religious. I'm just, you know, I don't really know. I don't know. I just don't know. So I'm not sure. You put holy water somewhere. I don't know. I don't really know, but I did just see that. So I don't know what that's about. So, all right. For what to avoid, you guys have the Queen of Pentacles. All right, Queen of Pentacles is what to avoid, and the King of Pentacles is what to avoid. So, I mean, I got to tell you, I think that there's maybe something about not being super grounded, or not worrying about like, I want to say the longevity of something, but possibly just doing something like in a very mindful type of way, or like an in the moment type of thing. Okay, that kind of stuff. I also understand embodying movement as opposed to stationary something. Okay, that kind of thing. Like something's got to be able to move. all right? Or like, well, yeah, that's literally what I'm feeling, like completely, okay? Definitely. And I also wonder if there's maybe something about not making big purchases right now, especially if maybe you guys just closed on a house or just closed on something or signed, I don't know, signed a deal, whatever the heck it is. It's like maybe there is something about like, okay, I know, but now we can't just like, we can't just, you know, spend all of our money or something about that, okay? That kind of stuff. I also feel like there's maybe something about like not doing something on like a DIY way, or not taking care of something that is maybe somebody else's responsibility, okay? Because I got to tell you, sometimes, like, even though if we feel like we're helping, sometimes we can actually just rob that person of that experience or that learning experience, or, you know, that kind of stuff. So I don't know, there might be something in that. All right. Could be some parenthood references rolling around in here as well. So all right, that's what I have for you guys, Leo. I hope this reading was helpful and made sense, all that kind of stuff. If not, you could check your other placements. Otherwise, I will see you guys back for your next one. Thank you. Bye.